colleagues also to stay on with us. I want to bring in our guest joining us this evening as well. We have BJP spokesperson RP Singh. We have Sulaiman Mohammed Khan, Congress spokesperson. We have Varun Singh, political analyst, and Naveen Chomal, political analyst as well. Good to have all of you on the broadcast with us. RP Singh, let me begin with you first. We're already seeing the BJP begin its victory march. Celebrations have broken out, not just here in the national capital, but across the country. How significant and historic is the moment that we're all about to witness in a short while from now? RP Singh?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought the question was to someone else. I'm so sorry. Yeah, it's one of the very historic moments of the country in the democratic process when a woman from a tribal background is going to be the president of the country. Even America has not achieved something like this. They still don't have a woman as a president of the country. So, but it's a big achievement, and then it will go a long way in the Indian history and in the history of the democracy worldwide.
It will indeed be a milestone when minutes from now we will have that official announcement of the first tribal president for India, and what a journey that Droupadi Murmu really has had. But Sulaiman Mohammed, let me bring you in as well. We've said this from the start. It really was a no contest simply because the NDA's candidate had the numbers from the beginning. But it just wasn't about the numbers as far as the NDA allies were concerned. They were party after party as far as the surprise supporters as well, right? From the Shiv Sena to the likes of JMM. Today, looking back, does the opposition feel it probably was a missed opportunity?
No, not at all. Not at all. Election of to the position of the President of India is not generally, or any election. There has to be a fight every time there is an election. For the sake of democracy, we have to put up a fight. We put a candidate as Yashwant Sinha ji as our candidate, opposition's candidate, and this has happened in the past as well. Different political parties who are either in NDA or UPA, this has happened. That some political party choose the other way around, although they were part of the ruling government.
That's the reason that I asked you this, Sulaiman, that, was there consensus as far as the opposition was concerned? And the reason that I'm asking you this is because after you had the announcement of Droupadi Murmu, you had the TMC Supremo, Mamata Banerjee, saying that if we knew about Droupadi Murmu earlier, things would have been different. So I'm trying to understand, was the consensus as far as Yashwant Sinha's candidature was concerned?
He was a consensus candidate. Everyone consented. In the opposition, most of the opposition party consented. We had a press conference, but this has happened in the past. This is not the first time that there has always been a contest, and there has always been situations like this that parties from different blocks who form, I think, two blocks. Some parties vote for the other group, or some MLAs even vote for some other candidate which is not actually supported by the group you are right now having, because in every election we have seen the presidential election, there are two. One is the ruling party candidate and one is the opposition candidate. So what has happened this time has happened before as well. Like in 2007 or 2012, when Pranab Mukherjee ji contested the election for the post of president, Shiv Sena, although was with NDA, but voted for Pranab da. So this has happened. This is not the new thing.
Okay.
And the important thing is now, because Droupadi Murmu ji is all set to become the president, as you have told us just moments ago, and we are watching on the news channel. Now she'll have, we hope, and she has a task on her hand.
Yeah, I'll talk about her task at hand, but I just want to take a moment because it is very historic on many levels. As I said, India's first tribal president. It's taken us a long time to even see a day like this. Varun saying, how important and symbolic does it then become as far as representation of the tribals are concerned? As I said when I started, if you go back to the previous president, if it was Dalit representation then, it is representation of the tribals today. And as I said, it's taken a long time for India to even see a moment like this.
Absolutely. And I wouldn't like to use the word symbolism because I think she's one of the most deserving candidates. And when we look back at her history, first woman from her community to go out, study, become a clerk, then a teacher, and an MLA and a minister. Such a brilliant achievement and such a brilliant past she has. And a few moments ago on your channel itself, the best thing that the BJP could have done with this is has connected all the tribal from the northeast to the eastern part of the country and even to the western. The biggest achievement that the BJP or the NDA has achieved from this is that they have managed to talk a lot about the Northeast, which was for a very long time. She might be from Orissa, but look at the people who have come to celebrate her victory. They are from Manipur, they are from Nagaland, they are from all these Northeastern states, which for a very long time has been felt ignored. But finally, these people who always were on the boundaries now are finding them in mainstream. And obviously this is I hate to use this word again and again, but it's such a brilliant masterstroke. And talking about opposition, the opposition unity on since day one has been faltering, and now with the vice president candidate also, we can clearly see that when Mamata Banerjee's TMC says that they will abstain, on your channel itself, RPG was there, and I don't know what was his stand then, but I had clearly said that directly, indirectly, Mamata Banerjee might support Jagdeep Ji, who's the NDA candidate, and by abstaining, the opposition, it's a
larger message when you abstain that is now being sent out. But we'll talk about that in just a bit. I want to bring in Naveen also in the conversation. And Naveen, you're from Odisha today. As I said, it is going to be, the first Odia president that we're going to see as well. How big is it a day for people of Odisha to see somebody who's worked so hard, has had humble beginning and background, has worked tirelessly, and one common element that we've heard from, whoever you speak to from Odisha, they've said that she's the most approachable, kind-hearted person. If you meet her once, she'll never forget your name. And that's the kind of connect people have with her on the ground. How do you feel today?
Definitely, it's a matter of pride, not just for Orissa, but the entire nation. And as my other panelist was rightly saying, she's a woman who's got a caliber. And definitely she's got a grace, she's got a humbleness, and she's got a character. She has been getting involved in the people, interacting with them, and absolutely down to the earth. But give me just 30 seconds. I would like to share a very important point to you. Let us go a couple of centuries back, and from there to a few thousand years back. Bharat has been a country of diversity, but diversity had a very close sense of unity also. So while a certain section used to live in the cities with the kings and the rulers, but each village used to be a self-sufficient unit. We used to have 12 Balutidar and 18 Pagar Jati, and from there it used to be the forest region. So even the tribal people were connected with the mainstream politics, and they were playing a different role in what you say, maintaining the society.
Okay.
But unfortunately, in recent few years, or say a couple of hundred of years, we could not be in touch with the tribals. But this time, the government has done a very good thing. They have given this particular honor to the lady from the tribal community, a Santal community, and she is such a, what you say, highly respectable lady.
Absolutely. It is history in making. It is a milestone that we will all witness in a short while from